So I like to make a triangle with two of the same big size cushions like this, one down, one on top, and then maybe a smaller cushion just behind. So there's a little pyramid.
Okay.
You can even get pillows from the bed, anything at all like that. And then make sure that your back feels okay on the cushions. Make sure that the cushion underneath the head feels good. And then relaxing the arms by the side. You can totally choose whether to bring the soles of the feet together, knees open, or whether you want to place the feet on the ground and just knock the knees together. If you're feeling a lot of tension into the inner thighs, then you may want the other variation. So you've spoken about breath today, Cosette. So what I am going to do is show you how sometimes what we think is happening with the breath isn't always what is happening. And yes, keeping in the breath is a skill that has to be learned over time. It can only truly be learned when we relax the body. Then you can start to take the breath skills into movement as well. So just taking some moments to soften into the shoulders, letting them go. And in this shape, you're going to feel how the ribs open slightly and flare just a little. Beautiful. We'll call this effortless rest pose. So the purpose here is the inhalation, which is what you feel like you struggle with. The inhalation comes as a natural result of full exhalation. So you may feel as though the exhale is long and intentional, but in many breath holding patterns, and most dramatically in any lung disorders, if you've had COVID, if the lung capacity has been diminished from any kind of illness, the ability to exhale has also been diminished. And you may actually prematurely cut off the exhalation and then initiate the inhalation with the use of accessory respiratory muscles rather than using the diaphragm. And this becomes habitual, which then curtails the exhalation, can lead to ever more issues around the diaphragm. The diaphragm becomes quite contracted. So I'm going to ask you to relax your mouth. This is a very, very good exercise for labor as well. But really what we're doing here is we're increasing the capacity of the diaphragm. The beauty of this exercise isn't that you're thinking about manipulating your breathing at all, which causes mental tension and frustration. You're simply breathing and pretending that you're breathing out of a very long straw. So first of all, Cosette, we're going to count the breath cycles without changing your breathing right now for 1 full minute. So beginning now, count your inhale and exhale as one breath, and you're going to count your breathing for a full minute. If you get dizzy or anything, you can lie on your side, but see if you can stay comfortable here because it keeps the diaphragm open at the front. Continue counting your breaths. You are now going to stop your count now, wherever that is, even if it's in half a breath, and just remember your count. And now we will begin with our straw breathing, which we'll do for 3 minutes. Your inhale is through the nose, and your exhale out of those softly parted lips. breathing in through the nose and then out through your mouth into that imaginary straw, working gently so that you don't push the breath out. When you take your next breath in, lightly touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth to prevent yourself from breathing in through your mouth. And then exhale out of that slight O shape of the lips. And begin to concentrate your attention at the end of each exhalation on allowing the inhalation to arise spontaneously. So when the diaphragm initiates the inhalation, it'll feel like a gentle bounce up through the center of your body. And if you can allow this to happen, the incoming breath will be effortless. Take your time with it. It may be quite a few cycles of that exhale out of your imaginary straw. We don't usually trust the inhale breath to come in, so we jump in prematurely and we initiate the inhalation with our upper chest and shoulders, and that's what constricts the breath. Sometimes a sense of rising panic can come up with this straw experiment. And it may be because increasing that length of the exhalation feels counterintuitive. And we're convinced that we have to put the emphasis on the inhale to get enough air. And it's that getting enough air that sometimes makes us feel as though we're panicking a little bit. However, because you've worked with the breath for enough time, you'll know how to lengthen those exhale breaths. Everything's slowing down now. The breath moves so lightly and slowly through the mouth that if there was a candle flame in front of you, it would barely flicker. We're retraining the diaphragm here to work correctly so that you're not breathing through the upper body, but you're taking the breath deep into the diaphragm. You can complete now with the final straw breath out of the mouth. And then just come to a natural couple of cycles of breathing in and out of the nose. And then, Cosette, we're going to count the breath again, beginning now. Counting your inhale and your exhale breath for the next minute. Notice how relaxed the body becomes. That exhalation has stimulated a deepening of the inhale if you truly understand how to move through the exhale breath. I can already see that the diaphragm is looser, and you can now finish your count and notice the difference between the first count and the count after you've done the exercise. Practice this each evening before bed, and over time it'll become second nature and allow you to reset your diaphragm. You can bring your knees together, Cosette, and then very gently roll over to your side. Take a moment on your side. And then come on up, taking your cushions away and coming onto all fours. First of all, in neutral, establish your baseline breath. So take 2 breaths in and out, just noticing how the breath feels, keeping your mind and body quite relaxed. If the exhale still feels like it wants to be longer, that's fine. And then on your next inhale, lift your tailbone, push into your palms, press the chest forward, lift the gaze. Take your time, exhale, swell. Keep the spinal rolls quite soft if you feel that you're grasping for the breath again. So always in the foreground, the attention on the breath, like actors on a stage. The sensations are in the background, like a screen with the background continuously moving, but it's not at the front of your awareness. The breath is. Take your time to move in that breath. Tuck your toes under, walk your hands back, and gently roll over the heels and into a squat. Notice how the texture of the breath changes here. But keep the breath relaxed, the face relaxed, the pelvic floor muscles smiling, relaxed. Fingertips come to the ground, lift the hips, heel toe your feet hips distance, and then just dangle here. If you need to bend the knees slightly, do, otherwise straight legs and just dangling. Notice how the texture of the breath has changed again. Take your time. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands up your thighs. Slowly, slowly rise. Inhale, sweep your arms up in a wide arc. Exhale, draw the arms down and back. Inhale, reach the palms up. Exhale, down and back, creating space. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, taking palms back. Interlace your hands, bend your knees, flip your interlace to the sky, hold. Keep the breath even, shift your weight to the left leg, pick your right knee up, straighten the right leg, swing it around behind you. Press the outer edge of the right foot to the mat. And on your exhale, side bend to the left. Breathe into the right ribs. The texture of the breath will change. Try not to grasp for it. Just keep the diaphragm relaxed. Press up onto the ball of your foot. Gently step. Sink down into the chair again. Weight shifts to the right side. Lift the left leg. Swing it around in a wide arc. And side bend to the right side. Gently come to center, step both feet, straighten the legs, relax your arms by your side, and take 3 breaths. Relaxed shoulders, relaxed arms, soft gaze. Allowing the body to fill and condense, fill and release. Step your feet as wide as the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, come on down into your squat once again. 3 deep breaths in the squat. It's a slow practice. You might choose to close your eyes anytime. Fingertips come to the ground, lift the hips, heel toe your feet hips distance, walk your hands forward, and take a strong downward facing dog with a relaxed neck and full breath. Gently come onto your hands and knees. 3 cycles of cat and cow. Lengthen through the breaths. Keep an internal softness. And in the first labor, when there was that pain in the back and the posterior sense of deep nerves being fired by baby pressing into the back body, it created a feeling of intensity that you weren't expecting. This time round could be completely different. These sensations of keeping the body soft and moving and rolling could be your next labor. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, hips back and bow. And just do this inside your breath, setting up in your mind a soft, gentle, flowing labor experience. Baby in the right position. Seeing baby continuously in a good position. Your pelvis more relaxed than the first time around, understanding what is needed for this birth. Your body knows already it's been through what it needed to go through. And now this time you can experience that beautiful, soft, orgasmic birth that you seek. It can happen. But first time, not always. Deepen down, like everything. You don't always get it 100% right first time. A little bit of practice makes for perfection. Left palm on the thigh, reach your right arm high. Deep breaths now. Make sure that there's not undue strain in the ankle. Beautiful. Both hands come back down to the ground, onto all fours, and this time big hip rocks. Those early labor flow movements that won't feel good when you're in active labor. These movements that feel so good and early, and then suddenly something changes, the intensity changes, and these kind of movements will become standing movement, where it feels better to be upright. Change direction, go the other way. And downward facing dog once again. 3 deep breaths in the down dog. Cosette. Relaxed exhale so that the inhale can initiate on its own without strain or hurry. Step your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out slightly. Walk your hands back. 3 breaths in your squat. Fingertips come to the ground, lift the hips, heel toe your feet hips distance, walking your hands back to your downward facing dog. Relax your neck. Back onto all fours, 3 breaths, cat and cow. Beautiful. Stepping your right foot forward, And again, movements within the breaths, taking your time, there's no hurry as you rock backwards and forwards. Finally, deepen into this low lunge. If it feels okay for you, right palm to the thigh, reach your left arm up. Both hands come back down to the ground. Onto all fours. Walk your palms forward and bring your chest down towards the ground. If it feels too intense on the shoulders or the breath, forearms can come to the ground, but that is comfortable for you. Getting used to keeping the breath big and even no matter the shape the body is in. Sliding your palms back as you lift your chest. Tucking toes and scooping baby up to downward facing dog. Look at your left palm and step your left foot to the front of the mat, right toes rotated outwards. And feeling wings to flight, inhale. Take your time. Beautiful. And let's make more space for the breath. Hold opposite elbows above your head, hips forward, pubic bone lifts and scoots slightly to the base of the uterus. Lengthen through the side body and just feel into the stability of the body. The breath could change. Maybe there's a slightly catching sensation. Just keep softening out. Left forearm to the thigh, sweeping into the right arm, big halos, spinning the ribs as you do so. Breath is in the foreground. Right arm in a half bind. Relax your neck. Keep the legs sturdy. Reach your right arm up, bring both hands to the ground. Heel toe your left foot into the middle of the mat, and then swing your right heel down to the ground for your triangle foundation. Place your left palm on your shin. Again, 3 sweeps to get that lymphatic going and to also move through the breath. Half bind once again. Look over the right shoulder first, and then take the gaze past the left big toe. This is a good shape for helping baby make a rotation in early labor if they need to find a better position. Create space. Reach your right palm up, bring your fingertips to the ground. Heel toe your left foot off to the left side slightly and swivel the right toes just a little so that you're in a pyramid as you bow down. You can always use blocks if you need to. Taking a few deep breaths. Slowly release the right knee to the ground. Place the right palm on the ground. And then reach your left arm up to the sky so that you find space in the front body. Try not to slump into the right shoulder. Pull up and away slightly from the right shoulder. And then we'll take a twist the other way. All of this helping to create mobility in the diaphragm. Both hands come to the ground. Swing your right foot off to the left side. Keep the left palm on the inside of the left foot. Squeeze your knee to your shoulder and reach your right arm high, opening the front side body on the other side now. Keep that full expression of the breath. Slowly come on down onto your right heel, place the hand to the ground. Now this opens up the front body for even more breath, but if your right shoulder's not feeling good, don't do it. Otherwise, lift baby. We're creating strength up the back line of the body and opening into the front body. Slide your right foot over slightly, sit down, and bring your left leg onto the inside of the right foot. Right foot onto the inside of the left leg. We're going to take our twists first. Interlace your palms, flip the interlace to the sky. On your exhale, twist to the right, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, interlace the palms through center. Exhale, long and twist. On your inhale, really focus on drawing through that inhale as you interlace the palms, create space. Should feel good. And finally, let's take it into the twist. Left palm to the right knee, gaze over the right shoulder. Keep the left leg engaged. Slide the left arm down the length of the left leg. Reach your right arm over. Your ribs are opening up rather than collapsing. You'll feel compression on the left side, the stomach, pancreas, spleen side of the body, but a good stretch through the liver side. You may feel that your body is trying to catch for the breath. Just soften the breath out. Relax. And gently rise. Place both hands on the ground behind you. Pause a moment. And then taking it into the forward fold, just to quieten the mind. Press that right foot firmly into the inner left thigh. Interlace your palms, gaze to the left big toe. Inhale, exhale. Hands come down to the ground. Walk the fingers forward as far as you can. Feel how much space you have for baby, and then fold to the depth that baby allows. And gently rise. Bring both knees together. Come onto all fours. Cat and cow. Spread fingers. Your breathing pattern. Follow it. And back into your downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Look at your right palm, step your right palm, foot where your right palm was. Phoenix wings to flight and warrior one foundation. Taking your time. After the third pass, hold opposite elbows above head, lengthen through the spine, and just settle. Feel the pelvis, feel the openness in the front body, soften the breath. Right forearm to the thigh, left arm and those three big halos around the head. Half bind. Relax your head. Bring your palms down to the ground. Heel toe your right foot into the middle of the mat. Swing the left heel to the ground, right heel and left arch matches. Right palm onto the shin. Again, 3 sweeps to mobilize the rib basket. Creating space continuously through the pregnant body. Half bind the left arm, gaze past the right big toe. Hold. Place your palms back to the ground. Heel toe the right foot out slightly and swivel the left foot 40 degrees. You're in your wide pyramid as you walk your fingertips forward and fold. Bend your right knee, place your left palm beneath your left shoulder and gently bring your left knee down to the ground. There's space for baby on that right side as you reach your right arm high, strong line of length from palm to palm. Notice how the breath feels different, the texture. Bring both palms down to the ground. Gently swing your left foot over to the right side of the mat. Right palm stays on the inside of the right foot. Squeeze knee and shoulder together and reach your left arm up. There's a sense of ease through the breath. Gently bring the left hip down. Hand comes to the ground behind you. Lift your baby to the sky. As you come down, swing the left foot forward slightly. Straighten your right leg, left foot imprints into the inner right thigh. Interlace your palms, inhale, elongate the inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale through center, stretch and reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, final time, stretch and reach. Exhale, take it into the twist, hold 3 breaths. Focus on your exhale breaths, soft and long out. Extend your right arm down the length of the right leg. Reach your left arm over Paravrita Janashishasana. Gently rise, hands to the mat behind you, draw in the breath. Interlace your palms, sweep up, gaze to the right big toe, lengthen first, and then place your hands on the ground and bow. By finding space in the body with the uplifts before we take a forward fold, there should also be more space for the breath, just taking your time and slowing things down when you feel that the breath is constricted in any way. Walking your hands up, slowly come to center. Beautiful. You're going to need a multi-towel strap. Sorry, I should have said at the beginning of class. I didn't mean to, but I forgot because we got talking. So anything that you can use as a strap. Good. You're going to come to lie down on your right side, Cosette. And then take the strap and place it over your left foot. Keep your right knee bent and on the ground. Straighten the left leg. Hold the strap quite close to the foot. Relax your head into the crook of your elbow. And then pull that left leg close towards your left side. Keeping the left leg really long and strong. The liver side of the body, the right side of the body is heavy on the ground, relaxed into the earth. And there's slight constriction into the ascending colon on that left side. We'll just hold here for some time. The last breath here, a little bit more depth if your body gives it to you. Keeping that left leg strong and long though. Gently release the strap, just bring it down in front of you, bend the left knee and hold the knee so that you can relax and help the left leg back onto the right. Take a moment to just allow for settling, softening the inner thigh. Press your left hand into the ground, come on up, and now we're going to take that left leg into a pigeon. So sliding your left shin forward into your pigeon, right leg extends back. And we're going to come straight into the sleeping pigeon and relax. We'll come back into that breath, that straw breathing breath that we practiced at the beginning of the class. I know that it's like your golden thread breath. It's the same principles, a relaxed inhalation and long soft exhales out of gently parted lips. such a good shape, and sometimes it can feel difficult and challenging when you begin with your pigeons, but over time, space will be created and it feels better and better. Take the last 3 long breaths here. Those exhales out of the mouth. Press your palms into the mat, gently rise. And roll onto the left hip, bring your knees together. And once again, you'll lie down this time on the left side and place the strap around the right foot, straightening the leg, bringing your head down into the crook of your elbow, and then drawing that right leg towards you. The heavy side is now the stomach side of the body on the mat. A little bit of compression into the descending colon. In this sideline position, the breath could feel very easy. So just enjoying that slow breath. Just a bit longer here, taking the stretch deeper. Relax your right knee, take the strap away, maybe hold the knee with your hand and gently guide that right leg down on top of the left thigh. Relax it. When you're ready, come on up and slide your right shin forward. And you're now in pigeon on the right side. Once again, coming on down onto the forearms and taking your time to settle into the shape, soften into the breath, exhales out of the mouth, following the golden thread breath. Beautiful opportunity for meditation, for deeper relaxation. It's time for yourself out of the busyness. Such a privilege. Just 5 more breaths here, Cosette. Long, soft exhale. slowly beginning to make your way up, coming onto all fours, and just working everything out with a couple of cat and cow rolls, rolling the hips as well. Beautiful. And then just unmuting yourself, Cosette. And letting me know, just see if I can unmute you. And just, there we go. Just letting me know if that was a little bit easier for you.
It was. It definitely was. Thank you, Shasta.
I think that also sometimes because it's quite a physical yoga, just getting on top of the physicality of it can also be part of the challenge.
Yeah.
But as you know, in labor, that's also the challenge.
Exactly.
Is the physicality of it. But sometimes slowing it down, and even if you slow it down, do one yoga posture, and then take a few moments before moving into the next, or skipping one and then just joining again, just to come into the breath, can also, because if you're just trying to figure out what your body should be doing, then the breath can be more difficult to stay with.
Well, what I've definitely noticed is that obviously in the more open poses and the standing poses, it's absolutely effortless. Whereas we're like in a down dog and like a pigeon, which I think is quite normal. I find it a lot harder.
Yeah.
So,
that is what, especially as the baby becomes bigger in weight. However, eventually a down dog can become a resting pose. Okay. So even women with big babies, eventually the down dog becomes less effortful, and it becomes easier. But that just takes practice, because the shoulder girdle has to gain strength. And at first, a lot of women are just thinking about their hamstrings and their shoulders.
Yeah.
And that's quite a thing on its own.
Yes,
so that comes with the body just building some stretch and strength as well.
Okay. But thank you very much. That was very helpful.
Pleasure. Thank you, Cosette. Take your relaxation and have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
And
next
time I come to Joburg, I'll let you know so that we can catch up. I'll come.
It would be wonderful. I'd really love that.
I've been avoiding a trip, but it's time. I know that it's time to come through. It's just I've got to find somebody who can look after my mom.
Okay.
And that's a thing.
Okay, that's a big reality. It would be wonderful to see you. Yes.
Okay, Cosette, take care.
Thank you, Shasta. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.